It's a David versus Goliath matchup in USL Championship, but the question is, will the dog have some bite tonight? One of the best in the league makes its way to South Florida, where Lou City squares off with Miami FC. And hello everyone, Ken LaVicka, I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us this evening. Ken, it's June 1st, but for the home team, this feels like a must-win situation.
Well, when you look at the table, you'll see why, and there it is. Almost two completely different ends of the spectrum. Miami FC sitting at the bottom of the East, only 7 points to their name. Louisville City near the top of the East, which is usually what we see. Louisville City, can they stay focused tonight on the road? Miami FC, they need to treat tonight like a final.
Yeah, and you look at the scoreboard where Miami FC has been so far this season, Ken. They've played 12 matches so far. They've scored 12 goals. Alan Cavallanius will not start tonight, but he scored 4 of them.
Yeah, he's accounted, if my math is correct, for a third of the goal-scoring output for Miami FC this season. Second straight match tonight that he's going to come off the bench for Antonio Nocerino. But Cavallanius, especially if this match remains close, he's the type of player, the former USL League One man, who can come in, he can make a difference, he can flip the pitch.
Volkswagen dealers, a South Florida player to watch tonight is in between the sticks. Felipe Rodriguez, he was between the pipes last week in that loss to North Carolina. He wasn't bad. He did surrender 4 goals, but all in all, it really wasn't a lot of his fault.
19 years old. When he signed on this year as a member of the Miami FC Academy, there is no way that he thought June 1st he would be the starting goalkeeper for the first team, and here he is tonight.
On the other side of things for Detroit, they felt really good against Lou City last week. They were up 1-0, and then all of a sudden a piano got dropped on them. 5 unanswered by Lou City, a crushing defeat for Detroit, but Lou City has been firing on all cylinders.
It is really difficult to unlock Detroit City, especially the way Louisville City did. The first deficit that they faced at home all year, and that lasted 8 minutes. A juggernaut on the attack right now.
And on the flip side of things, our Volkswagen dealer is a South Florida player to watch for them. Will be an interesting one. We'll tell you who that is and a whole lot more when we come up next. It's Lou City and Miami FC. Fellas are coming up next.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This broadcast is brought to you by Micromobility.com. Toyota of Hollywood, we speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com today. And Baptist Health, your orthopedic care specialists. We are live here at FIU Soccer Stadium in South Florida tonight with Ken Levick. I'm David Gascon. Ken, the starters for the home team. You do the honors.
Well, you look at the top of the formation. It's been a little bit since we've seen Frank Lopez. The diminutive yet aggressive Cuban forward is in the starting 11 tonight. A back four, Metrano, Knutson, Cardona, and Genzano. And of course, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame, 19-year-old Felipe Rodriguez in goal for Miami FC.
And on the flip side of things for Lou City, their 8-1-2 record is impressive. A couple of guys will get their first starts tonight. Nyla McCabe, his first start in 10 matches, and Sam Gleadle, his first start in 8 matches, but the deployment for them this evening.
And no Harris tonight, 10 goals to his name for Louisville City. But with this firepower, with this depth, you look at what Danny Cruz has at his disposal, and he's going to feel confident that the 11 that he puts out there tonight can get the job done.
Yeah, they've been fantastic so far this season. Just the one loss. It was on the road. They have a 2-1-2 record on the road. All-time 3-2 against Miami FC. This is a dangerous spot, though, for Danny Cruz and his troops. We talked to him earlier this week, and the one element that he felt like he needed to preach to his guys was don't take this team for granted just because of the record.
Especially when you've gone on the road your previous 2 occasions and you've registered draws. And no disrespect to the sides that they drew against, Las Vegas and Rhode Island, but Louisville City, the quality that they have, they shouldn't be playing 2-2 and 0-0 draws, respectively, Vegas and Rhode Island. And so this is a chance tonight to hit the reset button because this is a weird trip. Coming down to South Florida is always odd. It's a different type of weather. It is heavy and it is humid, and it's a very peculiar surface here as well in South Florida.
Yeah, the temperatures tonight here in South Florida, 82 degrees. Humidity at 66%, some wind blowing out 17 miles per hour as this match is underway. Lou City going from left to right on your screen. Miami FC, the home team, will be moving from right to left. Miami has lost 4 straight, and for Lou City, they've gone 3-0-2 in their last 5. But all in all, Ken, it's one of those elements for Danny Cruz. It doesn't matter where they're at right now, as long as they're at the top of the leaderboard when it's all said and done at the end of the season.
No doubt. And when you have the goal-scoring output that they do have, especially to this point, 33 goals on the season. If you do the math, that is 3 goals per match. They are ahead of the pace for the best goal-scoring performance in the history of the USL Championship. Obviously, you have a couple more months left to go, but so far, so good. It has been a much different side, though, away from home. Typically, you're going to be a different side away from home, but it has been pronounced. Plus 22 goal differential at home this season. Only +1 away from Louisville for this Louisville City side.
Well, you look at their numbers. You mentioned the goals they have scored, the goals they have given up, only 10 on the year. 6 clean sheets. They're a pretty solid team. I guess you could say that they don't have many chinks in the armor, but the one deficit they might have is when they're on the road, they're a different animal. But I guess you could say that for a lot of teams across USL Championship.
No doubt. That's absolutely correct. But again, playing the draws against Las Vegas and Rhode Island, it certainly allows you the chance when things are going well to sit and say, all right, there's a little bit of a deficit, and you can focus on that. And you look at the table, and you see Miami FC sitting in 12th, bottom of the East, really struggling on the attack. They haven't scored in now almost 2.5 complete matches. But again, look at the surface here at FIU. It's odd and different types of conditions.
Gleadle tries to play this one in the box, had no lift on it, taken away by Metrano. Tries to switch the pitch, Iambilla. Few changes for Miami FC tonight amongst their starting 11. That man right there, number 19, Michael Lawrence. Lawrence has been banged up. Feels like everybody is for Miami FC, but Lawrence back on the pitch this evening, so it's good to see his return. He had some heavy contact there. McFadden, who's down on the deck, grabbing that left shin.
I keep talking about the surface because if you've been, and we'll take a look here at the contact, and that was certainly cleats to ankle in that spot. But this artificial surface here at Florida International University, it's very springy, it's very bouncy. The ball will take off on you. It's a different feel under your feet, and that matters. And so you've got to get adjusted to it. For Miami FC, maybe the one advantage they have tonight is that this is what they're used to. This is as close to indoor soccer as you're going to find in the USL Championship simply because of this turf. And you have to find a way in this heavy air to also give that some sort of account.
Jorge Gonzalez getting back to his feet, man from Valencia, Spain, so far this year. Couple goals in 9 matches. This free kick, a chip into the box. It's one of the things that Miami has really suffered on this season is the inability to stop set pieces in the attacking third. All in all, it should be a comfortable day of ball, even though the temperatures are near 90. Still, you're thinking about this, Ken, it's not like the humidity is up at 90% yet.
No, in South Florida, there has never been a year in recorded history where there were more 90-plus degree days in the month of May. And then as you hit June, this is the first day in South Florida in a long time where the high has not hit 90. So Louisville City, all things considered, getting a little bit of a weather break here.
Yeah. It's a different animal when you come to South Florida. There's Antonio Nocerino. Antonio, in his first season as head coach of Miami SC, has certainly taken it on the chin, and he's not pulling any punches when he speaks to us. He is accountable. He knows exactly what his team needs to do, but it's a matter of execution, and they've said to a man they just frankly have not done it yet. Gonzalez slightly pivoted off that ball. Lou City on the attack, though. Gonzalez again, decent service into the box. That one just a little bit too long. Look at the run that was there and delivered. Rodriguez on his line, and head up all the way though, but a dangerous moment there for Lou City.
You know what's so impressive too, amongst a lot of things for Louisville City, but one thing that really stands out, they are 21st in the USL Championship in possession this season. They don't need to dominate the ball to dominate you, and I think that really stands out.
It's a sign of a good team. You can get on an opponent early, stay on them, and eventually put your foot right on their throat. That's what good teams do, is they take care of business against the teams that they should, and it's one of those elements where you're playing so good at home. You usually want to play at least good couple games over 500, but perfect at home, and it's a recipe for success, especially if you can clinch home field advantage throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs.
And it's evidence, too, if you're Louisville City, that they're comfortable allowing the other team possession, the opposition possession, but if they don't have any ideas, they can't hurt you. If you snuff that out, you're fine.
First corner kick of this contest. Sammy Beek elevating. Gets that one into harm's way. Genzano plays it to nobody. Frankie Lopez will be hovering around the park here today. Frankie didn't play last week. He was sick, according to head coach Antonio Nocerino, but it's always good to have him back amongst the starting 11.
I'm such a fan of Frankie Lopez.
Oh, Frankie Lopez.
Well, you as well. I hold you in high esteem.
I hope so. I hope so.
But I've told you that
You're stuck with me for a couple hours tonight.
I've told you plenty of times in private. But yes, to everybody watching as well, I am a big David fan. Now, to Frankie Lopez, I like the way he plays. He is certainly diminutive.
Yeah.
He's a smaller guy, but he's fearless, and he'll get after you, and he'll make you think, and he'll push the envelope, and there you get a good look at him. He needs to be a little bit better on the ball, but he keeps defenses accountable, and I think that there is definitely a very high ceiling for him in Antonio Nocerino's system.
Played over on the right-hand side, Perez. Nice move here, lofting it into the box again. Almost a near own goal. Loose change, not picked up by Lou City. Miami FC escapes.
Well, the 19-year-old in goal, Rodriguez for Miami FC, having to think about some things here early. You have got to, if you're this back line for Miami FC, allow him a little bit of an avenue to either commit to a ball like that or stay back. There's too much traffic in front, and he's put in a real tough in-between.
You mentioned the possession light there for Lou City this year, Ken, and it's been all Lou City so far. Perez, nice move again, just can't maintain possession, but another corner kick coming to Lou City.
And we'll see if there was a handball here in this scrum in front of the 6-yard box. Take a look, and I don't know. The arm is extended there, but it grazes the bottom of the arm. I could see where that's missed, and also it doesn't strike me as anything overly egregious. The ball was close to the body, may have made contact with that body first.
Here's Perez on the corner. Played in San Diego before they folded last year. Decent delivery. Blue City keeping the press on, though. Match is all but young, and then the 9th minute, that strike from well outside. A couple feet over the crossbar, but it looks like it was touched from Miami FC as you see McCabe there getting his first start of the year. Playing in 10 matches now. Hasn't seen a boatload of minutes, in fact. Only 142 so far in 9 matches, not including this evening.
Antonio Nocerino is not going to be happy that Sharpie's able to camp out there on the back post to just allow that corner to fall to his feet. The marking needs to be better.
McCabe here, softly played through. Nice attempt by Rodriguez to get up and elevate. Rodriguez gave up a goal last week, nearly the exact same spot on a corner kick. And again, there's times that you'd love to get away from the public eye, but as a keeper, giving up a goal on a corner kick via the corner kick, it's one of those things you just have to take on the chin, if you will, and wear it for quite a while.
Yeah, and Miami FC also is a work in progress here defensively. It's going to be the case most of the year, and unfortunately, your keeper, no matter who it is, going to be left on an island a bit. That spotlight is going to burn bright, and so you're right. If you're exposed, you've got to eat it and move on to the next one.
But Antonio Nocerino, to his credit, said he's liked what Rodriguez has delivered during training. He felt good about what he did between the pipes last week, and he earned himself another start here tonight.
Well, you and I saw him, his first appearance in an emergency role in the U.S. Open Cup here in South Florida against South Georgia Tormenta, and he came in a very unenviable position, and I thought did one heck of a job to keep his club in the match. And if it wasn't for Tormenta eventually just overwhelming a tired Miami FC side, they would have moved on in the U.S. Open Cup. He was not the reason that they fell in that match.
Yeah, Kadeem Nadia picked up a red card just before the end of the first half. The keeper was removed, obviously. In comes Rodriguez, but playing down a player. Miami FC eventually fell 4-2 in that affair.
By the way, if you're scoring at home, it is now 243 consecutive minutes without a goal for Miami FC this season.
Have you ever scored a soccer match at home, Ken?
You know what? I have not.
I'm asking you. I'm putting you on the spot.
I have not, actually. That is a great question that I did not anticipate. And I'll be honest, no, I have not scored a soccer match at home.
Have you ever scored any kind of match at home? Baseball, basketball, hockey?
I used to score baseball at home as
when
a
you were
young
a boy.
kid. Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to say that that makes me cool.
No, it does make you cool.
I'm not going to say I'm proud of it.
It does make you cool, though.
But I did it. I like the fact that I knew how to keep score.
Yes.
And did it.
Yes. It's part of that lure of being a sports fan growing up, right? When you're watching soccer and you're following these players through and through the organizations, the franchises, and it's tough that you're seeing these players go across the land from the United States to Europe,
right?
Obviously all over the map, and then represent their respective countries, and the same thing goes for baseball and what other sports you do follow.
Now, I don't keep score any longer. One, because I've got much better things to do, and I have this newfangled technology called a mobile phone.
Yes, yes.
And that handles all my needs.
There you go. And in case you need it, ChatGPT is on deck. So,
right.
12th minute, Miami FC still looking for any kind of attack. I am Billy here. Jordan. Sammy Beek. That ricochet came his way. Here's Cardona. Nick has not wavered so far this year for Miami FC. 13 matches, 13 starts. All in all, he's been the one big bright spot for Miami FC on a rather troublesome campaign. 2 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw. The head-scratching moment are the 2 victories and the draw. You win your season opener against Colorado Springs. You beat San Antonio for the 2nd time in 2 years. And then you play to a draw against Sacramento, and you think, well, those are some of the good outcomes. But how do we get victories against some of the other upper echelon teams?
It's one of the curses of coming in and only bringing one player back from the season before. When you don't have any continuity and it's a whole new crop of guys, it's very difficult to find consistency, and Miami FC's case in point this year.
Medrano here, some open real estate. Alejandro trying to make a move, gets fought off nicely, but nevertheless it'll be a corner kick as Glito was in front of that thing.
There is enough individual attacking talent to give even sides the quality of Louisville City problems. It's just a matter of it linking up. But we saw right there that a guy like Medrano, he can beat you off the dribble. He can put you in a good spot. And the corner here for Miami FC, it's not for lack of chances. It's just they have been unlucky at times not to find the back of the net.
Toyota of Hollywood corner kick, Booth, low line drive delivery. So one thing on set pieces that Miami FC doesn't have an advantage of, whether it's on the attack or the defense, they don't have a good deal of success because of their size.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's very noticeable with Miami FC is the fact that they're not winning many aerial battles. This is not a large or long side by any stretch. And it was even noticeable in the U.S. Open Cup against the USL League One side like Tormenta. They were appreciably bigger than Miami FC, and certainly Louisville has a lot more bulk than Miami FC does.
Muji Marana, who's on the pitch here tonight, newly acquired. Played in 10 matches with Birmingham, 1 goal. See if he has an impact here for Miami. He's donning number 15. Beak from outside that drive, good stop by Loss. Punches it to his left.
We were talking about the turf earlier, and there you saw a good example. It was a really tough short hop for Loss because it catapulted off of this almost concrete-esque artificial surface, and Loss had to adjust his body off the short hop and punch it away instead of bringing it into his chest. Good attempt, good knowledge of the turf from the home side, and Loss able to adjust well to this artificial surface.
Here's Booth, and he'll play it back to Iambilla. So one thing, if anything, for Miami, at least they get a shot on goal. Feels like the last couple of matches against North Carolina, they've really had a tough time getting out of the gate. Delay call here. Take a peek though at that shot on net from Beak.
Beak was able to find some room to operate, and it looked for a moment like it was going to be directly at Loss, and then all of a sudden he realized, wait, this is going to short hop me, and then that short hop came in real hot, and he did a good job to just fight it away. That was the best he could have done.
This one played away. 16th minute. Possession being carried right now by Lou City. A couple of dangerous moments for the road team, but nothing on the board just yet. This portion of the broadcast brought to you by Toyota of Hollywood. We speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. Early yellow card here.
Antonio Nocerino, or someone on the bench. He seems surprised like I do. So Antonio Nocerino is looking for some explanation, but either him or a member of his staff has been shown a card here.
Antonio is a passionate man, and he is a vocal head coach and a former player. He looks as calm and as composed as ever, and so for a yellow card to be issued, I'm more inclined to believe it was someone else other than him, because I've seen him hot on many of occasions and not receive a yellow card.
Tell you what, talking with him this week, just having a conversation about soccer with him, and I was ready to go out and just start launching soccer balls at the wall of my home just to get some of that inspirational energy out of my system. The man is football. He lives it, he breathes it, and he wants to teach it. And things aren't going well for Miami FC, but he is not in any way, shape, or form backing off teaching and trying to get his squad better. Absolutely love it.
So Lou City is plus 23 in the goal differential. Miami FC is a minus 13. They've given up 25 goals so far this season, lost near one-hander. That's one of the elements that we talked about. As Miami FC go on the attack, Beak on the back line. Here's Lopez looking for a little bit of assistance. That cross almost found Twine, but a good attempt from Lopez with the left foot, trying to be creative there.
I love the cut to the end line for Lopez, and he was looking for his distribution options, got it off to his left foot, and that was a nice try to blast that into Lawrence, because if that takes even a minor glance off of Lawrence's forehead, it might be off the back of the net. He just happened to be really well marked, but that is where Lopez can really hurt you. He is small, he is quick.
Toronto gets it back. Alejandro. Did go off of him last. So
David, for the last 8 minutes, Miami FC has been the better side.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly have calmed down a little bit. It got a bit hairy in the first 10 minutes. And now they've settled down, if you will. Of course, that's the issue with Miami, and Antonio mentioned it earlier this week. They'll be good for 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20, and then all of a sudden, things just start falling apart at the seams. Chance here, though. They got some numbers. Booth looking over the right-hand side. They continue to operate and push, but that ball a little bit bobbled around by Moran, and it goes out of bounds, and unfortunately for them, it'll be a goal kick. Booth, though, I think probably on the side of taking a shot as opposed to giving it up.
Probably. I do think he made a good play, though, trying to distribute to someone with maybe a little bit more real estate to operate. That ball took a weird hop off of the turf, and Morano wasn't expecting it, and that's why the touch was so heavy. Someone who's been with this club and has played on this surface this season probably handles that okay. Let's not forget, Majid Morana, this is his first time in a Miami FC shirt, his first match, and he does not know this surface yet.
That certainly is a different animal to play on, no matter the time of the year.
And I only speak on this as someone who has consistently spent time on this surface here at Florida International. I've walked it, I've ran on it. It's just different from other places in the championship.
You've run on. What are you doing? Wind sprints out there?
Yes.
Shuttle runs?
I may be near 40, but I can still move a little bit.
All right.
Didn't say it didn't hurt afterwards.
All right. Then did you have cleats on?
I did not have cleats on. No.
Okay.
No. And that's probably why it was a little slippery for me.
Rodriguez with the sun in his eyes. See if that has any kind of impact on the keeper here in this opening half. 21st minute. Gonzalez trying to get on his horse, and he's got it. Against Cardona. Nice play by Cardona. Gonzalez in a little bit of despair, given the fact he was called for the penalty, or for the foul, excuse me.
It's in the corner.
Here on the campus of FIU, not to be confused, by the way, with FAU, which is about an hour north in Boca Raton. That's the school that went to the Final Four 2 seasons ago, not FIU.
Well, the team that got beat by San Diego State, if I do recall, right?
That is true. A buzzer-beating defeat for Florida Atlantic in that Final Four.
There you go. 22nd minute. Lou City, synonymous with winning. They have done so quite a bit. Last year, they finished the regular season with 14 victories, 12 losses, and 8 draws. The year prior, though, in 2022, they had 22 victories and a mere 6 defeats. Lawrence gets tangled up and taken down.
Well, there's certainly some urgency to the attack here early. Once they found themselves in Miami FC, they are able to find passing lanes, and they're stringing some attack together. This is a good sign for Antonio Nocerino, who told us this week, hey, I want these guys, this mindset during this losing stretch we're on, to be every match is a final. Every match means everything. And they're playing like that here early.
No Wilson Harris for Lou City, leads the team with 10 goals. So that will have some kind of an impact, but for Miami, they don't care who's on it. They just need some results to go their way. That's going to result in a corner kick for the home team. Yeah, you don't want to say that it's hyperbole for Antonio Nocerino to say that, but you almost feel like at some point this season, maybe it has already started, that you have academy players that are taking the pitch and seeing healthy minutes because your regulars, the guys you have on contract, just are not getting it done.
I think that if you hear a coach at this level say that, some people, the cynics, are prone to roll their eyes and say, oh, that's youth league stuff. But no, this is still teaching. Yeah. This is very much a side that Antonio Nocerino is trying to develop into an eventual end game. Yeah. And so it applies here. And if the players are appreciating it and are receiving the message, then he's doing something right.
But Toronto way too long and too tall on that corner. Gabriel Cabral, who's not starting tonight, usually takes these corners. Doesn't matter which angle it's from, but in this instance, Booth and Toronto not faring too well in the corners.
And how often do you see a 5-spot put on Detroit City like we saw on Wednesday?
Yeah.
My goodness, was Louisville City invincible, and they conceded first. For the first time all year at home. They trailed, and that deficit lasted 8 minutes. And then from there, it was a stampede. That was, to me, over the last couple of weeks, the most eye-opening performance in what's been a bunch of them for Louisville City at home. Already 4 5+ goal efforts this year. That's already tied the championship record. But what they did against a very good Detroit City side and a very solid and stubborn defense, that would certainly raise some eyebrows.
Lawrence here. Iambilla asking for it as well. Lawrence pulls the trigger. Good stop by Alas. Tried sneaking it in short side. No hesitation in his game. And that's exactly what you'd like to see from Miami, Ken.
And Michael Lawrence, what a great shot. Lower left corner, and Loss needed to be 100% committed to make this save. And he was able to react extremely quickly. That was headed to the back of the net. A great take, a better save, but Miami FC is really spreading out Louisville City here in the opening quarter hour.
Lawrence, a good frame, 6'1", had some power through that. Toyota of Hollywood corner kick here for Andrew Booth. See if he can fare better on this one. Marana, again, just not enough length on that for him. Set pieces, not a strength for Miami FC. And Marana, first look with a new team. Obviously not on the same page just yet.
Affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4. All with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
Back here live at FIU Stadium. Miami FC and Lou City. That contact, look, it was just outside the 18, and Knutson got away with one there. A yellow card here in the 27th minute, but he's fortunate enough that didn't result in a penalty.
Well, Knutson was tracking this ball, and it looks like he just put on the brakes, and there was a little bit, it appears, of a grab of the shirt. Look, there it is. There's the hook right there with the right arm of Knutson. Was it subtle? Yes. Did it alter the ability of the player to stay on the ball? The answer to that is yes, and it was just outside the box. I think it's a rightful card. Knutson is just fortunate that it didn't happen another 1.5 feet to his right.
Elijah Winder, who was on the attack, was taken down. So for Knutson, he'll have to be on high alert now, playing on yellow, as Rodriguez looking on. This is a dangerous moment for Rodriguez and company. They've fared well so far in this opening half. against one of the top-tier teams in all of USL Championship. Perez and McCabe both there. It'll go to Perez. That strike misses the net by a good 5 feet. Right concept, poor accuracy though from Perez.
Perez immediately knew that it was off the mark. You'll see his reaction as he says, well, thank you for the delivery, but he grimaces in frustration. Good pace on that, but he hooked it.
Looks like you with your irons,
Oh,
hooking everything.
I promise you it's worse than what we just saw there from Perez.
Cleto couldn't get to that. Sun continues to set here in South Florida.
Well, just shy of the half-hour mark here. And if you really want the story of Miami FC this season, they have been in matches just fine the opening half hour. They are minus 13 in goal differential in 2024 from the 30th minute on. So this is really the test of their mettle now, is can they keep this type of play up through the rest of the half, because Louisville City has not led away from home at halftime at all this year. So something's got to give here in this spot.
And it's a performance like this that can help them if they can get into the second half with some kind of a lead. But the problem is getting on the board in the first half has been anything but easy for them. Keep in mind, coming into tonight, 12 goals in 12 matches. They were on the entire bench for Lou City since a handball against Booth. Booth and Perez getting together, and now Booth a booking for him. And, you know, there's times and places for everything, Ken, and for Booth, not a good decision.
No, there's no need for that. And there's a reason that Miami FC has the third most yellows in the USL Championship. It's because this has been a disciplined group this year, and you appreciate trying to stand up for yourself, and you appreciate being aggressive. I'm much better with a card if it comes trying to play the ball and you get a little bit too physical. That kind of stuff, that just puts your team in a detrimental position.
So now we'll see if Lou City can take advantage of it. Perez into the box. They don't have numbers. Lou City scores off the header. Things are way too easy right now for the road team. They get on the board first, and it's 1-0 Lou City. Elijah Winder, his third of the season.
This is what happens when you lose focus. There was no reason for Booth to register that yellow, and then what happens? Literal moments later, it's delivered into the area, poor marking, and a good finish there by Elijah Winder, and it's 1-0 to Louisville City, and they have not been on the front foot for a good portion of this opening half to this point, but that's how small the margin of error is for Miami FC. Focus on the situation on hand and not on the peripheral stuff, because you just got dinged after a pretty unacceptable yellow card.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too, and you look at Winder, what he has done. He's one of the more acclaimed players through the academy of Lou City, signing as one of the youngest ever in their program, and Winder, who continues to give pace to what everyone else has been doing, the top scorer so far for Lou City. You know, keep in mind, we mentioned Harris not playing tonight, but if Winder can get himself going, his third of the season, you feel like middle of the park, the attacking third, Lou City is going to be probably the biggest threat to win it all this season. Everyone from Miami asking for a handball there. That was not the case, at least with our lead official, as Ordonez might have gotten away with one. We'll take a look at it again.
So Lawrence chucks this into the middle of the area, and it definitely hits the hand. But it would be up to the referee to determine if it altered play. His hand was tucked into his midsection. But that'll compound the frustration here from Miami FC.
Last week, match was scoreless against North Carolina, and then the doors got blown off. They gave it 4 unanswered in that contest to North Carolina. never able to get into the flow of things. And we had just mentioned it, Ken. They had a problem scoring goals in the first half, and obviously the negative goal differential in the second half.
Well, what's wild for Miami FC, we've discussed that in the first half hour of matches this season, Miami FC's been okay. It's been after that where things have fallen apart to a -13 goal differential. That goal comes in the 31st minute, and so now make that -14 goal differential after 30 minutes this season. And now we have another yellow shown to the Miami FC sideline. Things are starting to spiral a little bit here.
So Winder's goal in the 31st minute, as Ken just mentioned. For Miami FC, they have not scored a first half goal in 8 of the 12 matches coming into tonight. There's that old saying, if you get on top, you want to stay on top. When you're chasing a match week in and week out, Ken, it really does a huge disservice to your morale and the overall confidence of your team.
Yeah, you don't want to be living in that perpetual world. And when you haven't scored since the 57th minute of the loss to Indy 11, and that was 3 matches ago, and all you know is trying to score first, not scoring first, and then playing from behind, and then especially in the case of the North Carolina FC match, it really was going through the motions in the second half, and Antonio Nocerino is just looking at guys to prepare for next match after that, evaluate what he has. That's tough. It's tough. You're still in this match, but if you're Miami FC, stop with the yellow cards, get focused, and get back to what worked from minute 10 through minute 29.
Back comes Lou City. McFadden gave it up, though. Metrano got taken out. Just a common foul, if one can be, for Perez. Looking on to see if Metrano was embellishing it all.
Yeah, there was contact to the hip, contact to the ankle. Not enough there for a card, but definitely a foul against Perez.
Shots right now 3-2 in favor of Lou City. Oddly enough, Miami has 2 shots on target.
But 4 yellows in the first half and 2 to your bench. If you're Miami FC, that's just not, and there's still 10 minutes left to go and change here in this opening half. That's not good enough. And when you're struggling, especially to do basic things in the attack, and you're Miami FC, like, all that stuff just distracts you from the situation at hand.
Looks like we're gonna have our first change coming here in the opening half for one team. Looks to be for Miami FC. We'll get you that announcement here in a brief moment. Lou City, though, staying on the attack. McCabe over the right-hand side. McFadden here. Aiden from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Dangerous move into the box. Iambilla, Booth trying to head this thing away out of harm's way. Lou City doing a good job of holding on to possession. McFadden again. See, he goes to the back post. He does a header, just a little bit off the mark. But again, Lou City is searching for their second goal this opening half. Now the announcement comes. Alan Gavilanes coming in. So Gavilanes in for Jordan Iambilla.
And I don't know if Iambilla took a knock. He was grimacing a bit as he came off. He was the one attempting to mark on that last set piece, and he looked flat-footed and didn't look like he read the ball well. Perhaps there is an injury there. So here comes Gavilanes, who leads the team in goals with 4, and see if he can't spark getting back to some pressure on the attack. We speculated that if this remained in the second half a close match, maybe Gavilanes comes in and he's able to help propel Miami FC. Well, it's still a close match, but we're in the 38th minute when he comes on. Not exactly how you drew it up.
Right, exactly it. Winder pushing forward. And Rodriguez will have to alertly come out. And aggressive as he is, the right play there. We've seen time after time after time keepers from Miami FC have some self-inflicted wounds when they come off their line. Not the occasion there. McFadden here. Jams in the brakes. Metrano got taken out on the backhand side, and that'll be a yellow card against Lou City. It was well after the play was unfolding on that right-hand side with McFadden. As Perez issued the booking here in the 38th minute.
Well, not the first time that Perez has come together with Metrano. And so we'll see this coming from the left side of your screen. Yep, a grab of Metrano and throwing him to the turf. And I think that is just sort of the culmination of what's been building between those two. We've seen some physical play, some encounters between those two guys, and I think Perez, out of frustration, said, oh, the play's ahead of me. I'll take this time to send a message, and unfortunately for him, it was seen and the card came out rightly.
We have had whistles blown non-stop in this first half.
We really have.
I mean, it almost feels like I'm in Times Square or something like that when you have, you know, you're on the subway and you got the officers blowing those whistles, getting folks on and off the subway system right now.
And then you look to your left and there's a third-rate Elmo standing there looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Oh, man.
I'm attorney Julian Rudolph. I founded JR Law in 2017, and since then, I've recovered millions of dollars for my injured clients. If you've been injured, I'll handle your case personally from start to finish. Call me today at 877-GET-JR-LAW.
Back here live at FIU Stadium. Miami FC down a goal to Lou City, 1-0. This is the first of two matches between these squads. Next time they will recapture a moment will be October the 2nd, so we'll have some time between the two opponents here today before they collide again. Feels like a match that Miami needs a lot more than Lou City, given the circumstances. Lou City right now 8-1-2 to open up the campaign. Miami FC 2-9-1.
And that lone loss as well for Louisville City on the road at Charleston Battery. There's a lot of teams that have gone into and will continue to go to Charleston and take a loss, and so no shame there. I can promise you Danny Cruz and this side would feel much worse about a loss to Miami FC than they did after the Charleston Battery defeat.
Yeah, when you look at it with Miami, the 2 wins. Colorado Springs was terrible to open up the year. They've been playing much better balls of late. They beat San Antonio, which oddly enough seems like they just have their magic number. And then they had the draw against Orange County, a 2-2 draw. They led twice in that contest before playing to a 2-2 tie in 90 minutes. And so you think, those are 3 quality teams in USL Championship. You're just not getting the results against everybody else if you're Miami, especially here on home ground. That's the alarming part, right?
Yeah.
Where you only have 2 wins in 8 matches. They haven't won so far on the road just yet, but you got to at least play a decent amount of good quality ball at home if you have any expectations to qualify for the postseason.
And obviously you'd love to get yourself in a spot where at some point this season, long season, Miami FC could talk about scenarios where they could get themselves into a playoff position. Yeah. But I think for now, and I think Antonio Nocerino knows this, as it looks like another card is coming out. This would be the 5th, and it is the 5th of the opening half for Miami FC. The focus is how can you get better on a minute-by-minute, half-by-half, match-by-match basis, and how can you get this side to play disciplined soccer, because they have not brought it here in this opening half against a very good Louisville City side.
Cardona there with the yellow card in the 42nd minute. So as you mentioned, Ken, not 1, not 2, but 5 yellow cards in this opening half for Miami FC.
3 players 2 to the bench. It's just, I appreciate the want, the desire, the passion, but you can't do that against Louisville City.
Softly touched in over the head of Rodriguez, but it goes long. He came out the challenge quickly to cut down the angle. McFadden tries to poke it back the same way it came. That bicycle kick was off the mark, though. A valiant attempt by Gonzalez.
Arturo, balance.
Nice ball fake there. Into the box. That strike blocked on the way through. Cardona came out, blocked that attempt by Morris. Jake Morris, a local of these parts. He's from Fort Lauderdale.
Well, based on how much room was given on that attempt into the box, that was like the equivalent of being here at FIU in Fort Lauderdale. There right now are some tired legs on this Miami FC side. I think that everybody's a little bit distracted, and right now this is a precarious moment because Miami FC is no longer on the front foot. They are really spread out right now.
Winder nearly turned the corner. He kept possession of that. He would have been off to the races.
This is getting to a point, just looking at Miami FC, and I think they need the halftime whistle pretty badly, that Louisville City, the way they can attack, some of these guys are going to start to feel like, hey, I have the green light to make an outstanding individual play, and they're going to start trying to pick on the young 19-year-old goalkeeper.
Yeah, at this point, it feels like Miami needs to be saved by the bell. Question is, will it come anytime soon? We've had a great deal of stoppages in this opening half. I guess 3 minutes of added time, but we'll find out. Wait for the fourth official to give us the reading on it. Cardona played it as well as he could since he does have the yellow card. Miami FC trying to counter. Gavilanes. Allen pushing it over to Lawrence. Just not enough steam on that ball. Taken away. Tosh could not control it. Everyone from Miami asking for a yellow card for Tosh, who put that thing a couple rows back.
It crossed my mind, considering that we've had 6 yellows shown in this opening half, that might be grounds for another one there. But the referee decided to use common sense, I think. And I'm not putting it on the referee, the 6 yellows. They're all deserved. I'm assuming the 2 on the Miami FC bench. I'm just saying, boys, there have been a lot of cards.
We have 1 minute of added time, so I went over the retail price.
That is a minor upset considering how many whistles we've had.
Yeah, there have been moments where this match has had good flow and then just jammed on the e-brake. And it's because of the yellows. See if Miami can muster anything else. Loss. Almost fortunate enough. Ball had enough air on it that he was able to gobble it up.
If I'm scoring, that's a shot on goal.
You are scoring it in your own way.
In my own way, right. I mean, that ends up being a really good play by Laz because he had to get up and fingertip that in midair.
And that'll do it for the opening half. So the first half comes to a conclusion, which many people thought would be a Lou City walkaway. They do have 1 goal. That man right there, Elijah Winder, his 3rd of the season. 45 minutes in the books from Miami. The home team down a goal, 1-0, Ken.
Yeah, and the Miami of the 10-minute mark to the 29-minute mark, you'd say this is unfair, but then after that, it's been all Louisville City as Miami FC sort of lost the plot a bit. This is the first time all year that Louisville City on the road has led at halftime.
And the 9th time this year that Miami FC has failed to score an opening half goal. Shots in the first half for 3. Winder, his 3rd goal of the season. That's the damage so far. Lou City trying to make it 9 victories on the campaign. Danny Cruz looking on. Has to be pleased with his performance. 45 minutes in the books. Lou City 1, Miami FC nothing. The halftime show is coming up next.
affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby new Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4, all with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Catching some sun here in South Florida with Ken Levick. I'm David Gascon. Louisville City FC on the road, traveling to Miami FC. 1-0 Lou City with the advantage. And Ken, we look at the schedule upcoming for Miami FC. Things are not going to get any easier for them. Las Vegas, they've had some tough outings as of late, but all in all, you're going to go to Sin City. You got to pick up a victory somewhere. That might be a good spot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Las Vegas, they have issues of their own. And you'll go out there thinking you can take 3 points, but that's a tough road trip. Home against FC Tulsa, Loudoun United, and then home against Detroit City as well. And then at North Carolina, where you just picked up a 4-0 decision on the wrong end to them. And so it's going to be tough sledding no matter this next 5 for Miami FC. And then you look at Louisville City, good one at home at North Carolina FC. Always a marquee matchup when it's Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Oh, yeah, always a marquee matchup when it's Louisville City and Pittsburgh. And then you have Rhode Island trying to get some payback for the road draw. And that at Birmingham Legion, who's the worst scoring team in all of the USL Championship. But boy, North Carolina, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, a lot of must-see soccer coming up at Louisville City.
Yeah, and the best part is, you know, Lucy is going to get the best punch from everybody on that schedule because they're one of the top-tier teams in all the land. We're at the break. When we come back, we'll get you some first-half stats and highlights. All of that coming up next.
So asking some questions, and there's the equalizer. It's Rivas.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes. Only want the best. Rebounding every night. Won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Lou City trying to pick up their third win of the season. They're on their way. 45 minutes in the books here from FIU Stadium. Lou City 1, Miami FC nothing. The Macron halftime report. Time to look now. The goal and save of the week in USL Championship. Plenty of highlights. The week that was. Fellas, take it away.
Has a goal and a rocket from the Scotsman, Greg Hurst. He puts New Mexico United up here in first half stoppage time.
Meanwhile, it's Birmingham threatening here. Look, quick touch. It's gobbled up. Birmingham claiming to cross the line, and Danny Vitiello proving why he's the best goalkeeper in the USL Championship.
Got some time now for our news and notes around USL Championship. Ken, do the honors.
USL on CBS. Oakland Roots, Sacramento Republic, July 21st. That's 4 o'clock Eastern time. Then Detroit City and Rhode Island. That'll come up August 3rd, also 4 o'clock Eastern time. The USL on CBS. By the way, busiest day in USL history. 72 matches scheduled to take place across the Championship, League One, League Two, W League upcoming. And no sleep till Brooklyn. U.S. men's national team and Juventus forward Timothy Weah is joining the ownership group. Expansion side Brooklyn FC kicking off 2025.
Right around the corner, and those are the news and notes with USL Championship. Meanwhile, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup continues, and we'll go all the way to September the 25th. But before we get there, we got our quarterfinals on tap.
And you look at New Mexico United, that is going to be a really attractive matchup against LAFC. Sacramento Republic, they're no stranger to massive U.S. Open Cup success. They've got Seattle. How about Indy 11? They go up against Atlanta United, USL Championship. They certainly could win the cup.
Yeah, they've looked good so far, Indy 11 has. We'll get you some first half stats and some highlights around the corner and take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as well.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Affordability, versatility, and most importantly, availability. Volkswagen Sport Utility models are in stock now. Take your choice of the affordable new VW Taos, 7-passenger Tiguan, the Ruby New Atlas, stylish Atlas Cross Sport, or the full electric ID4, all with 2 years complimentary maintenance, quality German engineering, smart technology, and a lower maintenance cost. Visit a Volkswagen South Florida dealership near you and test drive one today. Shop VWFlorida.com.
Young, hungry, determined, no icons, products of our environment, predators. This is our moment. We are Miami FC.
This broadcast is brought to you by Micromobility.com. Toyota of Hollywood, we speak your language. Hablamos tu idioma. Volkswagen dealers of South Florida. Check out local offers at VWFlorida.com today. And Baptist Health, your orthopedic care specialists. Take a look at some of the first half highlights in this thing. Ken, it was a lot of Lou City and a little of Miami FC.
Yeah, Louisville City right off the jump had some good opportunities. This was what Louisville City thought was a handball. The referee decides play on. And we look at it again as the arm extended. Yeah, but there's a good chance that that ball hit hip and then bicep. And I don't think that would have been a rightful handball. Then we had some scrums outside the area, and Miami FC with an outstanding chance. Beek makes Last have to dive to his right and play a short hop, punch it away, and things were still on even terms at that point. And Miami FC looked very even with Louisville City. 25th minute, this could have very easily been 1-0 to the host. Look at Lawrence, unimpeded into the box, cuts it to his right foot, and Lass again has to hug that near right post and did it literally after the save to keep it 0-0 at that point. That was the best opportunity of the match, and unfortunately for Miami FC, Louisville City just 6 minutes later after a very undisciplined yellow card. Here is the left-footed delivery into the box, and there is Winder to head it past the 19-year-old Rodriguez. Didn't stand a chance. The marking not great, but the header was superb. It was a really, really strong assist and a very deserved goal at that point for Louisville City, and then they never let off the gas and almost made it 2-0.
Yeah, Winder's third goal of the season for Perez. It's his 5th helper of the year. Stat line in the opening half, what do these numbers tell you?
I think that this spent a good portion of the opening half being an even match, and I think that the shots and the shots on target actually do reflect that. But the 53-47 possession edge for Louisville City, that tells the story of the final 15 minutes of the half. And look at the yellows. 4 of them for Miami FC, though I believe a second was shown later in the half to the Miami FC bench. That's just not good enough. Yeah. You can't have that, because against Louisville City, you've got to be disciplined, and those yellows are a symptom of something that Miami FC is going to have to get over if they want to get to winning ways this year, let alone tonight.
Antonio Nocerino, he'll have to make some adjustments in the second half. If you're looking at what they did do well in the opening 45 minutes, Ken, what would you say was that one good spot?
They showed a lot of fearlessness when it came to pushing forward and having Louisville City look a bit off balance defensively. I thought that there was a good 15-minute stretch where Miami FC looked downright dangerous.
Ooh, Lawrence Weavy takes that shot. It was blocked on the way through. Gavilanes did not get a lot of juice on that rebound.
I was just going to mention Lawrence. He's the one who had the best opportunity for Miami FC in the opening half. And there, if not for an opportune block shot, that would have had Lass sprawling as well. So Miami FC, we've seen they're capable of doing things like that, but it's got to be more sustained, and the defense has got to show a little bit more backbone here in the second half, because things got real seedy and dicey in the final 10 minutes of the opening 45.
Yeah, and for Miami FC, they're just trying to do anything they can to get on the board. Again, 12 goals so far heading into tonight's contest in 12-plus matches.
There was a lot to like in a nearly 20-minute stretch for Miami FC in the opening half. A lot to like. And then the bottom sort of fell out, which has been, and you noted it, sort of par for the course for Miami FC and sort of the identifying feature of their season.
See if Lopez can attack here, and Lopez trying to win that, cannot. But it goes right back to Gavilanes on a tee. Just didn't hit that thing flush.
Come on, come on.
Well, it was a good job by Charpy as well as Tosh to flank Lopez as he was trying to get out ahead of the defense. He had stayed on side, And it was Tosh who was able to poke it back to Las and ensure that there wasn't going to be any sort of drama. And that ball did fall to Gavilanes' feet, but that would have been a very, very ambitious goal as he was able to score that. But look at this, coming right out of the locker room after a downright depressing final 10 minutes of the opening half for Miami FC, and they look bright here at the onset of the second half.
Miami FC still looking for their first goal. They have not scored since May the 12th.
Outscored 9-2 in the month of May. Not a single result to show for anything in the table. You leave the month of May in the rearview mirror gladly if you're Antonio Nocerino and company.
Gonzalez here. Flung forward. Winder. Gonzalez wanted to get it back. Did not. Morrison on the right-hand side. That bomb goes from just outside the 18, goes sailing over the net by McCabe.
This was played on to McCabe and laid off well for him. And why not? You're up 1-0. You're feeling confident. You've got a 19-year-old keeper in front of you. Give it a go, but that was always headed well into the middle bleachers here in South Florida.
So these teams changing sides. We'll see if it fares any better for Miami FC. Genzano here. Left-footed chip into the box, hovering around. Morris. Booth can't get to it. Cardona has it now, though. Blue City 9-1-2 on the campaign. Marana, good hesitation, but nobody around in teal. That aqua color from Miami FC.
And that was all great stuff from Marana. Individual effort there in the corner, good creativity. The delivery left a bit to be desired, however.
Gonzalez. Marana, good deep possession of that ball, wins it cleanly. Gavilanes nearly gave it back. Sweet little nutmeg there.
A good sequence from Marana in the attacking third. Some outstanding footwork to clear himself for a cross. And then real strong along the touchline to maintain possession for Miami FC. And there you see someone, a veteran. He's got plenty of experience that could bring an element of depth to this side.
Here's Lopez, no numbers though, 2-on-5. Lopez with the cut, trying to make one more. Outside of Booth, that shot blocked on the way through. Even on the breakdowns defensively, Lucy's got a great ability to recover. Team that it has not lost since April the 9th.
We'll see here, Lopez able to meander into the area. That was a good look up top, but there's that block. This is good organization on the attack, though, for Miami FC. And I want to give credit to Knutson as well, who avoided what could have been a disastrous 1v1 with a good angle to knock a potential opportunity for Louisville City out of play across the touchline.
See the spacing there. Matrana wiping that play away from Perez. Blue City going to maintain possession, though. McCabe. Sharp angle for him. I don't know, for Danny Cruz and his guys, do you think there's many changes that need to be made here in the second half?
Yeah, not right now. I think that they've got more than enough that they're going to need here on the attack. I think that you probably, if Miami FC continues to ask some questions, maybe you start thinking about reinforcing that back line. Yeah. But it just seems like if you're Louisville City, eventually if you stay the course, you're going to be rewarded here.
Well, we mentioned no Wilson Harris tonight. He's out for precautionary reasons. A little bit of rest. They're playing their third match in less than 2 weeks, and so that wear and tear in the body certainly will add up over the course of a long year. You mix in the travel, the weather, the time of the year, all in all, got to be careful. But Harris, who's out tonight, leads the team with 10 goals. Ray Serrano not starting tonight. He has 5 of them. Good play. Miami FC did have some numbers inside the 18. Marana here. Ooh, that was a dangerous approach. Marana thought he was taken out. Maybe trying to embellish a little bit, but that ball's going back to Lou City.
Marana, though, is really fighting, really battling, showing his new side something. It's been an inspired start to the second half for Marana, the newcomer from Birmingham Legion, who was a bit quiet in the opening 45. Miami FC, they've come out with a fight.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate that. They certainly don't feel like they're down and out in this one. Now, the clock, something to remember, from the hour mark on this season, Louisville City is a robust plus 11 goals for, 0 conceded in that span. And so if you get to the hour mark, or 61st to 75th minute, they're going to feel good about things.
See what Lopez can deliver here. Immediate rejection. Matrano just gets that thing out of harm's way.
And what that suggests, when you're plus 11 goals for, 0 conceded in that 15-minute stretch, hour mark to 75th minute, you've got guys that are well-conditioned. You have guys that can stay the course. You have guys that believe they're eventually going to wear the opponent down.
See this look here, Winder and company trying to attack that shot, just missing though for Gonzalez. You figure with everyone that they do have on the pitch for Lou City, Gonzalez, Winder, Perez, these guys are still threats even with their 2 top scorers not amongst the regular 11 tonight.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely. And I don't mean any disrespect, but when you play a side like Miami FC, this is where you feel like you're taking them seriously, but you feel like maybe you can incorporate some guys into the attack and into the game plan that you maybe would against teams of higher echelon in the USL Championship have come on as a substitute or come in a different capacity. This is a good opportunity with a team that's clearly struggling for some of these non-regulars to get some regular minutes and see what they can do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you still feel like a lot of guys for Lou City who aren't amongst the regular starting 11 can eat.
And that's the whole point. You're trying to build depth. There are championship aspirations for Louisville City. Part of that is establishing what you're going to have on the bench, say, September, October.
Keep it. Open.
56th minute. No sense of panic tonight from Lou City. I don't want to say they've played a comfortable night of ball, but they've certainly been on the front foot.
You can hear along the touchline Antonio Nocerino, the head man for Miami FC. He's telling his back line, come on, let's get this moving. Let's get the ball up the pitch. Specifically pointed out Nicholas Cardona. Hey, come on. Let's not stand around. Let's make quick decisions, and let's keep Louisville City on its defensive heels.
Lou City 9-0-1 in their last 10 when leading at the end of the first half, and feels like they're going to keep that trend here if the pressure continues to stay on against Miami FC. As Gabriel Cabral is the second substitution of the night. Andrew Booth not happy with this decision, though.
I can understand why he's frustrated to come off, but he also, other than the shot he took from outside the area early in the second half, hasn't flashed much in the attack.
So Cabral coming in for Booth.
Yeah, Booth has got to relax. This is not going to do him any good, and especially with a team that's struggling, you cannot be demonstrative like that. You've got to be better. That's just not good, and I don't want to pile on him, but don't show up your coach like that.
Miami FC trying to show something here. Gavilanes, that shot again blocked on the way through. That's 3 of them here in the second half for Louisville.
Louisville's playing with fire a little bit here, David. There are too many opportunities.
Speaking of opportunities, Perez here, nice pivot, good stop by Rodriguez. Keeping this game afloat for Miami FC, Perez lurking there.
I wasn't sure if Perez was going to be able to unleash something. Chests it down. He's looking ahead the entire way. Look at the strides. Look how quickly the shot comes off his left foot. All he needed was one little side touch to clear some room, and he unleashed that shot. That was a really good attempt, and that was an outstanding example of reaction from Felipe Rodriguez, who is learning trial by fire here with Miami FC, and he's risen to the occasion.
Perez, the man from Ontario, California. This corner, beak elevated. There is a pile up there. It looked like the 95 freeway for a minute again, with a mass of humanity there near the 6.
That was similar to what you would see trying to get onto the nearby Dolphin Expressway.
It's painful
at rush hour.
Yes.
It is extremely painful. It is crowded and painful and frustrating. All of those things applicable to what we just saw there in the box.
So 2 substitutions. Quite a decent bear hug there.
That's a yellow. That is, I don't know what Sharpie's doing there. That was as clear as day.
Didn't hurt a whole lot from West tonight. 59th minute, though, the yellow card delivered to him.
I mean, he went for a piggyback ride here.
I know Lawrence doesn't skip leg day, but my goodness.
He's going to say that Lawrence was hooking his arm, but Sharpie's still the one that went up over the top.
Yeah. Danny picked up the yellow card. Danny Cruz, that is, here. So back-to-back yellows in the matter of seconds for Lou City.
I can't remember the last time that I've seen a match where both coaches have received a yellow card, or both benches have received a yellow card at the very least.
3 total?
We've had 3 total, and I believe both head coaches have been booked.
Now I guess the question is posed, is there a red somewhere on the horizon?
I don't know. This volume of yellows, you would think that the laws of football would say yes, but I don't know.
But there's been a lot of chirping on both sides. Not only the players on the pitch, but of course both benches. We do have the luxury of having those hot microphones down on the turf, so it always helps, no matter the language that is spoken in. Marana here. Need to give it up earlier, though. Cabral was asking for it, came too late, though. Back to Cardona. Cardona bends this in. Lopez scores! Oh, a great header from Frankie Lopez in the 61st minute, and we are level at 1-1.
We said Louisville City was playing with fire, and this is exactly why Louisville City needed to start applying itself defensively. Look at this delivery with a right foot. Cardona puts it on a dime, and Lopez, who is of short stature, it is right on his head. If he is 4 or 5 inches taller, he might not get to this. He has to play it off his body. Instead, it is in stride, and Frank Lopez absolutely plants it, and it is 1-1, and Miami FC has been the better team out of halftime, and what a result this would be.
So they are level 1-1 for Lopez, his first goal of the season, and a perfect time to do it. So he's on the board, and for Miami FC, they're off the deck. Now the question is, how does the rest of this match play out for Lou City? You mentioned at the top of the show, Ken, they've had some matches this year that were head-scratching draws. Not to say that they're looking down on anybody in USL Championship, but sometimes those underdogs will come up and clip you a bit.
Well, this tracks compared to what we've seen the last couple of weeks on the road from Louisville City. You should not be drawing at Las Vegas. You should not be drawing at Rhode Island. Yet, this is what they've done. And now you're level at Miami.
So we got some changes for Danny Cruz. Sam Gleedle. And these changes coming right after the goal was scored, so Cruz not wasting any time to go to his bench. Gleedle wasn't bad, but we just mentioned Ray Serrano. Serrano, 5 goals so far in the season. Davila coming in, Taylor that is. He'll make his appearance now. And we'll see exactly what is in store. Gavilanes and Cabral are visibly upset.
You're going to hear Danny Cruz unhappy on the Louisville City touchline. My goodness, what a goal that was.
Toloshoanmi coming in right now as well. Rodriguez looking on. Jake Morris here, see if he can deliver a counter punch for Lou City. Got that wall right in front of him. So 3 immediate changes for Danny Cruz. Morris on the punch. That one right off some woodwork. Now you look at Morris and you figure he's going to hit this thing as clean as he possibly could. Great accuracy here.
And boy, did he hit it extremely cleanly. And this is the thing about Rodriguez. He is not the biggest. Much like the rest of the Miami FC roster, he's not the biggest goalkeeper. And so you aim upper right, and it was almost 2-1 Lou City.
Cabral, Gavilanes wants it back. Cabral on the approach, it gets wiped out the very last moment. Great recovery, good transition game. Miami FC trying to take 3 here tonight, Ken.
This had goal written all over it, if not for some heroic defending at the end, protecting your goalkeeper. There's belief on the Miami FC side after the goal. There's been belief coming out of the locker room down 1-0 at halftime. Miami FC has really been the better side here in the second half.
Gavilanes. No man's land.
And then you see that, and you understand the reality at times here with Miami FC.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Live here at FIU Stadium. Ken Levicka, myself, David Gascon, saying hello to you wherever you may be. 66th minute. Miami FC, Lou City, the first of 2 encounters here in 2024. Lou City had a 1-0 advantage heading into the second half. Elijah Winder, his 3rd of the year. Frank Lopez got this thing level in the 61st minute. Cardona with the helper. And now we have ourselves a good old street fight. And I guess it's perfectly placed that way, Ken, because we've had physicality, we've had a boatload of trash talking, we've had chirping, we've had yellow cards. I think the only thing we have not seen yet is probably a haymaker or 2 and a red card.
It's what we're waiting for here. I tell you, Miami FC Speaking of haymakers, they certainly look like when they're on the ball, they have designs of delivering a haymaker goal. Louisville City would be real right now. The way things are trending, they'd be well served to start trying to control possession a little bit. And this is their second set piece here in the last 3 minutes, putting them in an advantageous position.
Two-hand punch by Rodriguez. Shots right now are 4-2 on target for Miami FC. Shots total 10-9 in favor of Lou City. But the possession, though, is heavily geared towards Miami FC. 67% over the last 15 minutes for the home team.
And you look at how badly they were outpossessed in the final 15 minutes of the first half. To come out of the locker room and dominate possession, that's a real good job of refocusing, recalibrating, getting yourself back then and an understanding of the situation at hand. This has been a completely different side compared to how we saw them head off the pitch after 45 minutes.
Morris. He's going to stay with Lou City. Showing me Davila and Serrano, 3 new combatants for Lou City. Came onto the pitch a few moments ago. Showing me making his way via Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That one tossled around. Rodriguez got one hand on it, and it goes off the crossbar.
That is unacceptable defending. Unacceptable defending from Miami FC. You have got to be better. Look at this. It's thrown to the edge of the 6-yard box. How that gets through 5 Miami FC defenders and on it to the head. That should have been able to score, or at least was in a great position to score. That has got to be better right there. And it nearly cost Miami FC.
Yeah, Gonzalez, who floated that thing up, really did all that he could with that header. I mean, you'd love to have that expectation that the ball's coming your way all the time, but for Gonzalez, not nearly flat-footed, but...
No, but it was a great attempt.
Low line drive.
You can't allow in a 1-1 match, could pull off one of the upsets of the season, and you allow a throw-in from the touchline to take a hop in the box and then find the head of Gonzalez. You don't want to spoil what's been a phenomenal effort with a malfunction like that. That was almost a disaster.
Morris will play it short to reposition. Davila, outside Winder. That thing never had a chance. I don't know what he was thinking about in that instance, but that was a complete miss. He'd love to have a mulligan there in the 71st minute.
I think he probably got caught between decisions there.
Yeah.
Do I deliver it? Do I take a shot? And the end result was that for Winder. So let's look at the situation here for Miami FC. You've got 20 minutes and change here to try and go for 3 points or at least grind out a result here. You have really got to dig in, and we have, shocker, another yellow shown in this match. You have got to apply yourself, and you've got to be smart. Good sportsmanship there from Lawrence. Just be smart. That's what's going to get you the result.
Ordonez was the one that grabbed the right foot, not literally, but figuratively from Michael Lawrence. The head contact there. Lawrence has fared well tonight. Signed an extension with Miami FC, and he's been a sight for sore eyes for many of fans looking for some punch in the attacking third. Looks like we'll have another change at the next stoppage for Lou City. So for Danny Cruz, yes, he wants a result, but he needs a goal.
I know that Danny Cruz was hoping he wasn't going to have to be considering offensive, attack-minded substitutions as we got into the final 20 minutes of the match, yet here we are having to think about that, having to go that route.
Lopez, Cabral. That one give it away though. A nice jump up in the play. Ordonez trying to push this thing forward. Back to Rodriguez. So one thing that we've noticed tonight and talked about it, Ken, is throughout the year, Miami FC has gotten into trouble by playing back through their keeper. They haven't done that here tonight yet.
Well, they just tried it, and it was sprayed out of play, and now it's an attacking third throw-in for Louisville City.
So now we have a change again for Lou City. This will be their fourth change. Jensen Wilson in. Pieces continue to move. Wilson, fresh legs working. Rodriguez there, a calm stop.
Well, that's better that time for Miami FC, and there have been some critical mistakes from them tonight. They got dinged in the first half to go down 1-0 on a mistake. They've had their marking issues, but that was a good defensive play there. Just stay in front of the attacker and try and force contact on the ball. That's the name of the game now.
Lawrence trying to split two defenders. Gavilanes here. Oh, that left foot. Would not have counted. The official blew the whistle before as Lawrence was taken out, but a free kick and to be delivered just outside the 18. Winder looking on, saying, what gives, fellas?
Well, the referee was allowing Miami FC to play the advantage. Lawrence gets bodied off the ball here. He's leaning out of play. I think that he probably might have been able to draw that by leaning into the defender. I actually don't love this call, but Miami FC, they're not going to argue it. They're going to take it here, a free kick from just outside the box. That shot had something on it from Gavilanes as well.
Lopez, a yellow card. So the hits just keep on coming.
I mean, at some point, all of Miami FC, every player that's seen the pitch is going to have a yellow here tonight.
All right, if Felipe Rodriguez gets a yellow card, then something's up. I'm walking off. I'm walking out of this booth.
We've called a Miami FC match where the goalkeeper's gotten a red.
Yeah, that's true. Gavilanes and Cabral here. We'll see who takes it, 99 or 8. Peculiar spot for Lou City to be in. 1-1 draw with Miami FC. Marana, Cardona, Knutson, Lawrence, Beek all inside the 18. Cabral, back post Beek. That hopper all just a little too tall on the elevation as he headed it straight down into the ground. Well, you mentioned it earlier during the show, Ken, that this surface plays like it's concrete at times. This is Exhibit A.
Yeah, that blasts about 25 feet into the air off of this artificial surface. I'm going to make this proclamation right now. Beek is not going to have a more open, more time to think about what he wants to do, header off a set piece all season long. And I promise you that throughout the course of the night, he is going to be thinking about how he spiked what could have been the potential game winner in the 76th minute.
Tip of the cap to Loss for that was a clean pull-up in my book. More prone to the CrossFitters out there that like those.
Now, I would argue a kip-up is not a real pull-up.
Well, in this day and age, I got to give it to him.
If you're a member of CrossFit Liger Cat,
yeah,
or whatever
probably.
Facility.
Yeah.
I apologize for offending you, but those aren't real pull-ups.
Someone's going to take offense to that.
No doubt. I'm sure it's already happened, and the email is on its way.
They'll talk CrossFit all day and all night. The world we live in. 77th minute as we play on into the good night. It was 1-0 Lou City at the end of the first half. Miami counted in the half. It is right now half number 2. Frankie Lopez in the 61st minute. Morano, who's down the deck.
And if you're Louisville City FC, and there's still plenty of time to come up with 3 points here, but boy, if it gets too late in the season, and I'm just playing a hypothetical here.
Of course you are.
And you are jockeying for Eastern Conference position.
Yes.
You would hate to look back to June the 1st when you couldn't pick up all 3 points against a Miami FC side who hadn't scored in nearly 300 consecutive minutes, and that's what cost you the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference or the regular season crown. You would hate to look back and have this match be the deciding factor.
But to be fair, if I am Lou City, and if we needed to get all 3 points at Miami, then there's something wrong in their year.
See, that's a good counter. You're exactly right. That's a good counter.
I mean, this team is good enough to play in the Bahamas during a hurricane season and pick up a W. I feel like this team, you can play anywhere on the map and get a positive result. I mean, they're that good. They're that deep. And I feel like for Danny Cruz's guys, again, we mentioned it halfway through this contest. It's their 3rd match in less than 2 weeks. So I think that does show a little bit of a wear and tear in the tires. But it is human nature to, at times, overlook those opponents and maybe feel good about a 1-0 lead.
The frustrating part, though, for Danny Cruz in that same respect is that he talked a lot this week about, we haven't been great on the road. There has been a specific focus. They were coming in here not overlooking Miami FC, 1, because they were a group of outstanding winning professionals, but 2, sort of lessons learned going to Vegas and to Rhode Island. And now, unless something changes here in the final 12 minutes, you're going to have the same result befall you, but this time to a side that is in the basement of the Eastern Conference. And at some point, it stops being just sort of, rough result on the road, and it becomes a trend and something that maybe you have to focus on a little bit more.
Well, they're a team that does a lot of winning, a couple of USL Championship crowns, won the Eastern Conference 4 times. They are anything but a mediocre franchise.
Oh, unquestionably. Semifinal last year, runner-up the year before, the 2 USL Championship titles, off to an outstanding red-hot start here in 2024. This is certainly a hiccup that would frustrate Danny Cruz, and you're coming off of what was a banner win over Detroit City, and to come back and only gain a point here in South Florida, that would confound some, we'll put it that way. But this trip is weird, coming down to South Florida, especially after playing a midweek game. It's weird because it's hot and it's heavy and humid, and you're playing on a mix of a trampoline and concrete, and it's just odd.
But if you said that you could pick up 4 out of 6 points in less than a week, you're gonna take that every day.
Sure. But it would make me feel better if it didn't come at the expense of the team that's 12th in the table in the Eastern Conference.
That's true. Gonzalez here floating around, heavy contact inside the 18, and our lead official points the spot, and Matrano wants to vomit all over the place.
I've got to see this again. Matrano is furious, and go figure, another yellow has been shown. And this is a match-changing decision right here. Gonzalez, the delivery. I mean, I didn't see any sort of extension of any limb. We'll see this again. And there's a little bit of contact, but you cannot call in the 82nd minute that to decide a match. That's not good enough. That is as tough luck as it gets right there.
Alhel Kaloum, the lead official tonight. That is a rather bold call.
Oof.
And it has to be an infuriating call. Yeah, Ray Serrano was the one taken out, but I feel like in that spot, the embellishment is grade A. You can't make that call unless you are certain. And the lead official pointed to the spot immediately, but I'm right there with you, Ken. I don't think that it warrants.
I mean, I don't know. Like that, he got into his body, yes, but is that enough to point to the spot and decide the match on that?
No offense to Serrano, but he's not scoring in that position there. Tosh, who's 1 for 1 on penalties this season. Rodriguez trying to come up huge, the 19-year-old trying to keep this game alive, at least for a positive result for Miami FC. Tosh on the year, 1 goal, trying to make it 2 for 2 and give Lou City their second lead here tonight. Tosh on the approach here in the 84th minute. See how he delivers this thing. Slight hesitation, he scores! Calm, cool, and comfortable, and a disgusting result for Miami FC. Lou City back in front, 2-1.
Tosh is professional as it gets there. And he had to, because of a delay, alter his preparation. But that's a veteran against a 19-year-old, and he made it look easy. It doesn't change the fact that I don't believe, you don't believe, that should have even been awarded. Metrano, to me, was done a disservice, and the referee, after what's been a very evenly played second half, either side could come out with a victory. He took it into his own hands and decided to come up with his own result. I do not like that. Was there contact? Yes. Was there enough to send the player to the turf? Sure. Should it have been called a penalty? Man, oh man, we've seen a lot more physical play that has not resulted in a whistle and especially a card here tonight.
Well, officials are graded just as much as the players are from the respective coaching staffs. Dylan Maris into the contest. Manuel Boda also in for Miami FC. So 16 in for 15. Yeah, and if you are Alejandro Metrano, you have to be sick to your stomach.
And it's one of those plays, too, that it probably isn't going to result in a goal. There was nothing about that delivery, nothing about that buildup that suggested that it was a danger situation. And I don't know, you got to allow guys in the box to play defense.
Ooh, bad turnover here. Great recovery by Rodriguez. A gaff and a recovery. It would have been 3-1 in a matter of seconds. Wow.
How did he sticky hand that thing at the last moment? That was desperation. Please let this ball hit my hand. And it did. And now Miami FC's got to get moving. They've got to get over that call and try and find an equalizer. In Louisville City, this is the type of thing that happens in a potential championship season. You get a break, you convert it, and you move on. We'll see here. Rodriguez tried to slide tackle that away, and then at the last moment is able to stick out his hand and keep it from being a 1v1 into 1v0 tap-in goal.
Lawrence got taken out again. This time no whistle, no call against Lou City. Of course not, but that one goes to Lou City. You know, there are moments in time where an official might make a call, an egregious one, perhaps a mistake. But Ken, I feel like from the first minutes on to where we're at now, that officiating has been the other third of this entire match. And there's been a lot of stoppages, a lot of whistles, a lot of bookings, and obviously a penalty.
I mean, we've talked about it, the whistle parade, the constant showing of the cards. And listen, you're trying to keep control of the match, and it has been chippy, and there's been a lot of talking, and certainly emotions have been high. And that's fine, manage all those things, but don't decide the match. And I'm not saying that, oh, you should just hide the whistle, pocket it in the final 10 minutes of a match, but that's football. There can be physical contact, even if it happens in the area, and I feel like the referee allowed himself to be baited a bit there.
When you're so used to calling something throughout the entire match, I guess everything else has to look the same, right? Foul after foul after foul.
Man, I suppose, though, Miami FC was awarded a free kick from just outside the area where the attacking player clearly threw his body into the defender to earn that. So I guess it's the referee continuing to do what he's done a good portion of the night and give the attacker the benefit of the doubt.
31 fouls so far and counting. 7 yellows. No reds. So we're in the 89th minute. The question now is how much added time will be given in this contest. Shawunmi looking for a dagger. Maris trying to split a couple defenders. Can't pull that off.
The one thing Louisville City won't do, nor should they, is apologize for any of this.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is a side that clearly is a little bit different away from home, and they have an amazing home field advantage.
Yep.
And they are...
They have fans that travel, too.
No doubt. And they're an epic home side. And so if you can get 3 points on the road, no matter how you do it, you take it and you pack your bags and you say, let's go back to Kentucky and let's not think about this ever again. It is totally fine.
Right.
For Miami FC, this is a continued part of the maturation process, the heartbreak part of it, the setback part of it. All this leads to growth if you're Antonio Nocerino, or at least that's the lesson you have to try and teach.
Cabral here in the 90th minute. Everyone playing up for Miami SC. Cardona trying to pierce this one into the defense of Lou City. Possession will still stay with Miami. Toyota of Hollywood corner kick here. Gavilanes will take it. Six minutes of added time. Gavilanes working short. Oh, it's loose around the back post. Miami FC asking for a handball there. Nothing called. Genzano pushing forward again. Loss. Empty net. That thing just scrambles wide. Loss on his backside. Then rolls over onto his stomach.
I think Knutson was called for a foul. Now we're going to see if there's the potential handball, or at least the question that was asked. You see Gavilanes, the in-swinger. I didn't see from that angle. And we'll see here. This trickled by last, but again, Knutson was called for a foul before that header. I did not get a look at the initial replay on the handball. Just wasn't an angle where you were able to tell anything. But it's clear the frustration is high here from Miami FC, and I get it. Now the question, I believe, is Tosh with a right hand, and we have a card shown to loss just to really drive home the point tonight to
nobody's
delay
safe.
of game. Yeah, nobody's safe. There we go. There's our
like,
keeper yellow.
Yeah, this is like Game of Thrones, right? You don't know who's surviving, who's around for the next episode.
So what Miami FC is claiming, though, on that corner is Tosh on the back post made contact with his right arm.
Oh, showing me there to Serrano. Serrano working one-on-one with Medrano. Trying to set him up. Serrano into the box. trying to do it himself. Good stop by Rodriguez. Got both paws out to keep this thing alive. Nearly a Herculean effort by Serrano. Didn't start this match, but he's had a major impact here in the final 15 minutes.
See Serrano, good 1v1 work. A Miami FC side that clearly is cognizant of, man, the last time we touched anybody in the box, it led to a penalty. Really unwilling to engage Serrano, who just weaved through and got off a good shot. Rodriguez equal to the task. He tracked it extremely well. Back to that corner real quick. The ball, if it did hit Tosh in his arm on the back post, I don't think the arm was extended enough for the referee to make the call and award a penalty. But I understand, especially with the questionable nature of the penalty that was awarded to Louisville City, why Miami FC would sit and say, well, come on. We need the pendulum to swing back our way here in some way, shape, or form.
Fortune favors the bold. Miami has fared well on certain occasions. See if they can do more damage here in that back post. And Zano mishit that ball completely. Pretty nice layup there by Lawrence. Miami has had some solid service tonight inside the 18, Ken. And even if they don't get a positive result here tonight, I think if you're Antonio Nocerino, you have to feel good about the starting 11 and the reserves that you brought in.
Now they rose to the occasion. They've played this like a final, like the boss had asked them to do. It might not be enough, but it certainly has been a bit improved.
Got the fans that have made their way from Louisville. Have you gone on the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky?
I have not.
No. Why not?
Just haven't made it there.
Oh, you got to do it at least once in your lifetime.
Yeah?
You have to. Get some boys, get the wifey, do it for a weekend. I mean,
is that about the time you need?
I think
to
so.
Fully immerse yourself?
Yeah, because don't forget, you need at least 1 day to recover. You know.
So I've heard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're not teenagers anymore, right? Like, we need that recovery time. We're not 21, 22.
Ain't that the truth?
It's like when you go to Las Vegas, you need at least 72 hours in church to get recovered from the shenanigans nowadays. Cardona, that thing was lifted up, but nowhere in sight for a member of Miami FC. But yeah, you got to do the Bourbon Trail. The hospitality in Kentucky is phenomenal, especially in Louisville. Of course, the fried food is a delight as well, too. Never, no shortage of that. But the folks love the bourbon, love sports. That's America, baby.
I tell you, that home field advantage they've carved out there in Louisville for this side and the way they present themselves, and they've gotten national TV exposure. It is a sight to behold.
Oh, yeah. It's well earned.
One of the great footballing environments in the entire United States of America, and North America for that matter.
Well, it shows the impact of a community and an organization, one where you invest in the team and the local community invests in you. It's the give and the get. And the fans have been treated to an exceptional program for quite a while. Lawrence trying to turn the corner, played it through the dummy on the backside, on the crossbar. More heartbreak for Miami FC.
At some point, you feel badly for this side. They don't deserve what's transpired here tonight. Genzano, how did that not find the back of the net? He is going to be sick, and I understand it, but if you're Miami FC, it's almost as if the universe is just conspiring against you now.
Take a look at this again. It might have gone off the goal line, too. Nice effort by Lawrence, and the good dummy through to Genzano, and yeah, I think bounced right off the goal line.
My goodness.
Out! Out! Get it
Back post again. Oh, that one tailor-made for Genzano, but he hits it way too hard, and that's how this match will end, in pure agony for Miami FC.
Danny Cruz is going to tell his team, go pack your bags, let's go right to the airport and get out of here with our 3 points. Because I'm not entirely sure Louisville City was the better team tonight here in South Florida.
Well, Antonio Nocerino talking to Danny Cruz' entire coaching staff. They're not chirping at each other. They're probably talking about how this match was played out, how the officiating unfolded. All in all, if you are a Miami FC fan, frustration continues, but more so for the players. I feel like time after time after time just could not get the results, especially here tonight. They worked so hard. Our Cricket Wireless man of the match tonight, thinking about who it could be, Frankie Lopez, he's it.
Well, I asked Antonio Nocerino earlier this week about Frank Lopez, and he said, I need my wingers to be creative. I present them a tapestry. I need their artistry to come out, and it certainly did here tonight with Frank Lopez. His beautiful header off a superb delivery drew this match level 1-1. It comes in a losing effort, but man, Miami FC, they were game tonight, and the rightful man of the match is Lopez.
His first goal of the season, not good enough. Tosh, the game winner via penalty. Lou City 2, Miami FC 1. Post-game show coming up next.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,975. We'll pay you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. That's $2,000 more than it's worth at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Heartbreak here tonight for Miami FC, but for Lou City, they will get back on the bird, head back home, and they will escape South Florida any way they can. They picked up 3 points here tonight, get their 9th win of the season, 2-1 the final. Ken Levicka, David Gascon can't get into the full-time highlights in this thing. It wasn't pretty for Lou City, but they got things done, especially early on.
Yeah, anything to get to the top of the table, and that's what happens tonight for Louisville City. First half, and Miami FC had been on the front foot until about the half-hour mark, and then things started to fall apart. Louisville City showing its class, and there is the goal scorer, Winder, to head it home. Little did we know that we were going to see some drama later in the match. It was 1-0 at halftime to the visitors. Just past the hour mark, it suddenly was Miami FC that was able to find some room in the area, also off a header. Cardona, low cross, Lopez tucks it inside the near post. An unlikely 1-1 scoreline at that point. The team at the bottom of the Eastern Conference was suddenly really threatening and asking major questions of Louisville City. In fact, after that, David, Miami FC was probably playing the better of the two sides. 81st minute, this is where the controversy comes. This is called a penalty inside the 6-yard box. Fairly, to me, inconsequential contact. The referee points to the spot, decides the match because Tosh steps up, and the veteran, easy conversion. That would be the final goal of the match. The 19-year-old Rodriguez stood no chance. And that's the final 2-1. Louisville City is now at the top of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they've converted 24 straight penalties, and they win here tonight. 2-1's the final. So they're now 9-1-2, 29 points in the Eastern Conference. Miami FC falls to 2-10-1. They've lost 5 straight, and the beat goes on for Lou City. They get North Carolina on June the 8th, but I mean, this is a good team that will find ways to win, whether it's pretty or ugly. They get W's no matter what.
If you have designs of winning a USL Championship title, winning the USL Cup, these matches are going to happen, and you find a way, and you don't apologize for it, and you don't ask any further questions. You take your 3 points, and you move on.
And for Miami FC, more heartbreak for them. They'll go on the road next week to Las Vegas. Kickoff time is at 10:30 Eastern, 10:30 Eastern, yeah, 10:30 Eastern Pacific, 7:30 kickoff time on June the 8th. But for Danny Cruz and company, like you said, no apologies given. They take care of business. They had a 1-0 lead. Got a scare from Miami FC, but in the end, Tosh, the game-winning goal via the penalty. And for Lou City, they improve their record to 9-1-2. Again, the best mark in the Eastern Conference, and they pull away here tonight with an escape victory at the hands of Miami FC. For Ken Levick, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great weekend, everyone. Lou City wins it 2-1 the final.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.